Hello. See, in this AWS lab, I want to demonstrate this AWS IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So here, this is a it provides a very fine-grained access control across AWS. You can specify who can access which services and resources and under what conditions. IAM is a feature of your AWS account and is offered at no additional charge. Please remember, we can attach any of the features, okay, which we will be discussing in this lab. Okay, to get started using IAM, if you have already registered with AWS, go to AWS Management Console. So here in this lab, I just want to show you some important tasks which can be done on IAM. So what I really need is that an instance, okay, of a Linux instance running on AWS cloud. So here I have an EC2 Linux instance. So here there are various tasks which I wanted to demonstrate. First of all, I will demonstrate how you can use this root MFA access. MFA stands for multi-factor authentication. So this is to keep your root access protection. And later I will be demonstrating the various tasks. First, let me show you how you can attach your device. For this, you need to have a mobile device, whether it is an iPhone or a Google Android phone, anything which is there. So what you need to do is that, see, this is your this is your EC2 dashboard. Go to first the security credentials. Okay, so under your name, you can click your security credentials. And what you need to do once you have the security credentials, you can select this multi-factor authentication and say activate MFA. So here you have various options. If you want to buy any devices, you can buy this UTF security key, other hardware. You can see various type of devices also in this particular URL. Okay, but for us, what we will do is that we will select this virtual MFA device where you can use any of these, softwares, applications from your Play Store. So for our requirement, I do this Google Authenticator. Even you can select Microsoft Authenticator also. Okay. So what I do, I select here and continue. So now I take my mobile phone, I download. You can see this one. Go to your Play Store. This is my Play Store. I'll select this Google Authenticator and download. Google Authenticator. You can see from the camera itself, it is something like 6 MB. 6 MB. Okay. So installation is completed. So you can say open. So once you say open, you can see stronger security. Yeah, you can see this particular screen. And next is that get started. So it asks for scan for a QR code. Okay, I'll scan QR code and I'll say show QR code on my screen. So here while using this app or only this time, so I'll use this QR code and I'll try to scan. So once the scan is done, you can see there is a code which is generated on my mobile screen. I need to provide the same code here. In my case, this is 837912912. So just wait for some time. You should be able to get another code 198 You can see this one. I assign this one. Now once I assign this one, you have successfully assigned your MFA and say close. So you can see this is now connected. This is now connected. Let me try logging in back. So you can log out and verify whether now your account is authenticated, should be authenticated with your MFA. So in this way, you are providing additional security. Okay, now you can see this MFA code. I am providing MFA code which is there on my mobile screen. It is 145. You can see 259. And once you provide that, so you can see in this way you can secure your root accounts. You can secure your root accounts. If you want to remove your device, okay, at any point of time, if you want to remove your device, don't remove the app from your system until unless you delete this MFA, security credentials, MFA, and if you do not want, just say manage and then remove, and then wipe off the application over. So this is how the task 0 has been done. Now let me go to the IAM dashboard. We are already into the IAM dashboard. You can see this one. So my first task here is to create two users. We will learn about how to create a user and also attach policy. Policy is nothing but permissions. So the first user we are going to give exclusively EC2, and second user we are going to give exclusively S3. That is explicit allow policy. Okay, so we are going to allow these two for user 1 and user 2. Okay, so what I need to do, I will create a user 1. So select user from the left hand side and say add user. This is task 1. So say user 1. Here you have option whether you want to go for programmatic access, console access. For now, let us do this particular console access. In another task, I'll show you how you can access through programmatic. So I'll say custom password. If you want auto generate, you can use. I'm giving some password. User must change. Normally we give user must change, but here I'm disabling this one. Say next permissions. So I can add existing policies directly. So here the policies are written in JSON. You can see several 727 policies are there. So I can search basically. See user 1 needs to be given EC2 access. So there are about 25 policies which are there. EC2 container, no. EC2 full access, Amazon EC2 full access. If you want to see the contents, so what is there, the JSON policy, you can go through, you can click the policy and see how the policy is written. It is JSON is JavaScript object notation. You can see this is the allow policy of all various associated resources. So I'm selecting and say tags and review, create a user. Okay, my user 1 is created. Since I do not have any programmatic access, I may not really require. Or you can download the CSV and mail it to the user. So close. This one is done. Okay, and also let me add one more user. So in this user, I will be giving permission, policy for S3 access only. User 2. Same procedure, custom. Need not. Say next permissions. Add policy directly. So you can specify S3. S3 full access I'm giving. If you want read only, you can give read only access, which will not allow you to delete any buckets or any resources. So here, next review and say create user. So the user is now created. Download the CSV. And second thing, what you need to do, just copy this one also, the URL, which the users can access. Copy link address. I'm copying in my this particular one. Okay. This is task 1. Okay. So just say close. So both the users are now created. You can see here now users. And the respective policies also now attached. Let me verify now. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'll just log out. Okay, and I will log in using the URL. So this is called as user access login. So for the user access login, you see your account ID coming at the top, and I will log in as user 1. Okay, and let's sign in. So I have signed in using this user 1. So for user 1, I have given the policy as only EC2. So let me verify whether I am able to access, or you can see the dashboard of EC2. Yes, I am able to see the dashboard of EC2, the parameters. Of course, you can shut down, you can even restart, or whatever it is. You can all the parameters are available, you can see here. Right. But if I try to go to S3 or any other service, it will simply say that you are not authorized. You can see this one, you do not have permissions. Okay. So hence verified. So let me try logging in with user 2. User 2, my I have given exclusive permissions only for S3. Now I'm able to see the buckets which I have created. If you want, you can create a bucket more. I think I have a bucket. Yes, I'll try to show you how you can create another bucket. See here, I can say Anand PH 1, or I can say cell disable and say create a bucket, and you can add resources accordingly. Yeah, you're able to. But if I try to explore any other services, it will say you are not authorized. In this way, this users can be restricted to access the AWS resources. Okay, so let me move ahead with the second task. The second task is creating and mapping a role for EC2 access. Okay, so now let me log in with the root user. So sign into root user email ID. Okay, so I'm providing my. So here I'm going to AC IAM dashboard. I will try to show you how you can create a role. Okay, but before that, I just want to show you something. Logging in. I'll log in and I'll show you to the EC2 on another what we call this duplicate session, and in this I will show you the EC2 which is there. So this is my Linux server and this is my IP address. Linux server. I'll just point out my what we call as AWS class. Once after login, you can see here, and AWS S3 LS. Let me see whether you have to configure, then only these buckets can be listed. So normally creating users and then assigning permissions is one way to access. The role can be mapped to what we call as the service. Okay, here the service is my EC2 itself. So once if I try to say, if I attach this role, create and attach this role, I can be able to list the buckets. I'll show you how you can do this one. Currently the role is not mapped. So here I create a role. I give an example, is create a role. So here various options are there. AWS service, another account, web identity, and SAML. Okay, security assertion markup language. I select this EC2. Next, say permissions. Okay. So what I do is that I can, because there are about 900 plus policies which are there, I want to give policy as S3 allow full access. I give that. Next, say tags, review, and provide the name. So I'll give this one S3 access. This is my role name. Just remember this one. This is my role name. Create a role. Now the role is created. Okay, EC2 S3 access role has been created. Try to attach this role. Attach this role. So in security, modify the IAM role and attach this role which I have created. Save. So now the role is attached. Let me verify whether I am able to access S3 from this EC2. So here I have already logged in. Let me see the same command running. Now I can see my buckets are being listed. You can see S3. Okay, I can see the contents which are there inside the bucket also like that. In this way, I can add, remove contents into the bucket. The role is now mapped to the EC2. In this way, you can attach a role to to a service from EC2 to S3, EC2 to S3 to something else like Lambda, and many other features can be added. This is how this task 2 has been done. Task 2, creating and mapping a role. Now let us understand the third step, creating a group. So I'll create a group called as Anand, and I'll add users 1 and user 2, and also I'll show you how you can attach policy to the group, whereas the user 1 and user 2 will inherit the policy which has been added to the group. This is the third one task which we are going to do now. Okay, let me switch back to IAM. Let me create a group. So group will reduce the effort by reducing by adding multiple users policies. Okay, so group, I'll create a group called, I'm going to create a group called as Anand. Okay, so I will add something called as user 1 and user 2. A group name is Anand, and add attach permissions. Okay, I'll give a permission called as an RDS full access. You can attach based on your requirement. So RDS full access shall be given to the group, and I'm adding 2 users. Later on, if you want to add another user also, you can add, okay, to the group. All tasks in one go. So create it. Okay, so now user 2 and user 1 will have access to RDS also. Okay, that is how you can add users to the group. So this task is completed. Now let us understand how to create user 3 and provide programmatic access only. User 3 programmatic access only. Okay, and see that what we are going to give S3 full access policy. S3 full access policy we will give. Let us understand that. Okay, so how do we do that? So here I will show you we will create a user 3, add users. We will not give console access. So user 3 programmatic access. Okay, no console access. So no need of providing password also. Here we has access key and secret access key. So I'll attach a policy. I'll attach a policy also, which is S3 full access. Okay, and say next add tag, create a user. Okay, download the CSV. This is very important because he doesn't have console access. The passwords are, see, you see this access key and secret access key will not be stored, will not be generated again and again for a user. So this will be there in this file. So close this one and map this user 3 also to the group as needed. If you want, you can. So you can select the group, user group, and add user 3 also into this member. Add users, user 3, and say add users. So the permissions of RDS will automatically get inherited. So now how will the user 3 get access? Okay, suppose if he is already logging into EC2 or something like that, from there he can map across and access the S3 bucket. You have to have CLI access or any SDK or anything which is there. If your CLI is already mapped to your local system, that is here CMD, you can make use. Otherwise, what I can do, since if I have an access to any of the account user, any of this EC2 user, I can say, see, I will detach the policy also. Earlier I had shown you how to attach the policy to, role to this user. Now I'll show you how you can detach this one in security. So if I say modify the IAM role, no IAM role, so will not show you now the buckets. The buckets. Detach. Okay. So just verify whether you are able to see from here AWS S3 LS. It will say no, you have to configure. So let me configure this S3, user 3 only. But this is, even though this is not safe, the safest way is to add role and then attach, add role. So now I'll show you how AWS configure. So access key, I'll show you, open this Excel sheet where you have your user, secret access code also. You can see here access key and secret access code. Copy, paste. This is for user 3. You can say US-east-1. Okay. So now let us see AWS S3 LS should display the content. Since we have given user 3 access to buckets, and with these credentials, he can log in. He can even configure this access key or secret access key in his Mac notebook, or even in Windows or Linux also. Once this is configured, he can access the buckets. So this is about the task 4. So, okay, so in this way, this identity and access management will give you the least privileges, should be configured according to the user's requirement to the least privilege requirements. In this way, the organization becomes much secure. Okay, thank you and bye.